Hi everyone, this is Paramita again. Now yesterday we were discussing about the parameterization and there we have I told you that in our runner class smartrunner.java there is this annotation at CucumberOptions. Um, Within that there are a lot of different attributes which we can use to do a lot of things like reporting and stuff. Now, these two attributes are must, features and glue. In features, what we do, we give the location of our feature package. Okay, feature package means that this here I have named it smart feature. Inside that we have our feature file smart login.feature. Now, in reality, there can be lot of feature files. Here I have so far I have made only one feature file, but there can be a lot of feature files. So we didn't specify the feature file name here. We just specified the smart feature folder. So what happens? Maybe suppose there will be 10 feature file within smart feature folder. So all the feature files, all the test cases in all 10 feature files, they will be executed. Okay, if we do like this, or if we want to specifically, if we want for some reason, if we want to specify a particular feature file, then we just can give a slash and we can write the name of that particular feature file. Now, so that's how we mention the location of our feature in this features attribute. What's the glue attribute? In glue attribute, we mention our step definition package name. Now here I have given the name smart definition. Most of the time we give step definition. I just thought that I'll give some other name here just to make you understand that it doesn't matter the any name you can use. So I have used the name smart definition, okay, where I have written all my step definitions, uh, where I have mapped all the scenarios from feature file. So in glue, we have mentioned smart definition folder because this smart definition folder and smart feature folder, they all are in the same directory, source test Java. So that's why I don't need to mention the full path of this smart definition. Okay. So these two attributes, feature and glue, they are must because without mentioning this, we cannot run any test cases. Okay. But there are a lot of other optional attributes which we can use to fulfill our needs. Like we can generate reports and all those stuff. Now, one attribute is very important when we are writing all these and all, because a lot of time we have to modify our feature file. Maybe we have to write some more scenarios or we have to delete some scenarios. So there, especially when we want to write new, we want to include new scenarios in our login feature, uh, to write our step definition file, this one will use a lot of time. So this attribute is dry run. How to write that? Dry run. Dry run equals true. So what does it do, this dry run attribute? What happens? Suppose this is my present login.feature file, smart login.feature file. I want to include some more scenarios here. Okay, so I will include another one scenarios. I'll just copy or I'll just write it down. Okay, because this is going to be a different scenarios. So user transfer transfer user transfers money successfully transfer money. Okay, he can be able to transfer money successfully or without success also. That's a negative testing. So here I'll say user transfer money successfully. No, for the time being I'll just write this user transfer money. Okay, so given user is on transfer page. So user is already on transfer page, that is given. Then user enters amount. Okay, so user enters amount and user then user enters amount and user clicked transfer button. Transfer button. Sorry, we'll write it like this. Given user is on transfer page when. So this is the condition given. User is on transfer page when user enters amount, then user clicked transfer button and confirmation pop-up displayed. So this is we are going to test whether after clicking the transfer button confirmation pop-up is displayed or not. So like when we transfer the money in bank, after clicking the transfer button, I think most of the bank I have used, we get a pop-up to confirm the transfer. So that's what I'm going to say a test here. So user is on transfer page. See, there is no any other same line in any other scenario. User enters amount. This is also a new one. User clicked transfer button. New one. Confirmation pop-up displayed. This is also a new line in my log feature file. So naturally there will not be the related step definition mentioned in our definition file. So we open our smart definition.java. So we have to include some code here for our new scenarios. So for that, previously I have shown you that I deleted the whole file and then ran it in Cucumber and included the whole code. But we don't need to do this. What we can do? We can use this dry run attribute in our runner class. Here I have named it smartrunner.java. So we can use this dry run attribute here within this Cucumber options. When we write this dry run attribute and then see what happens, I'm going to run this runner. Okay. So definitely it's going to give me some error because there is no related step definitions mentioned here because of for this scenario. So from that error, we will get our code which we have to include here in our smart definition. Okay. So in smart runner, I'm going to run as JUnit. See, I got some error. See, these two scenarios, the first scenario was user logged in with valid username password, user logged in with invalid username and password. They have passed. These two scenarios, they have passed. But this one, user transfer money, it didn't run, it didn't execute. Okay, so here we got the error. Sorry, it just disappeared. I'll just run it again. Run as JUnit. Yeah, see here. So here you can see in JUnit test runner place, we got this error. And in this error, they have mentioned all the missing step definition. See, at the rate given user is on transfer page. At the rate when user enters amount. At the rate then user clicked transfer button. At the rate then confirmation pop-up displayed. So we got all our missing step definition here. We'll click, copy, Control C, and we'll go to our smart definition.java and we will paste here. Control V. That's so easy. These two lines, we don't need them, so we'll just delete it. That's all. Now, just to check that everything is going fine, so we will just include some more printing statement in our new code. We don't need this exception here. We will delete it first. Yeah, we'll write some code. System.out.println. We'll write this one. User is on transfer page. In reality, there will be test code like Selenium or anything. You can include your code, automation code here. So this one will write user enters amount. We are doing this just to check that these steps have been executed. Yeah. And then, sorry, I didn't put the semicolon here. That's must. That's the Java rule. We have to put semicolon. Yeah, so here we will write confirmation pop-up displayed. Yeah, so Control S. Alright, so now we are going to run and we will see how it's working. But remember, once you use the dry run here, now you don't need to use this anymore, because if you forget to delete these attributes from here, what's going to happen, it will not give you any result, because it will not run any test cases, because it just run those cases where your scenarios are not mapped to the step definitions. But now that your all scenarios have been properly glued or mapped to your step definitions, so you don't need this attribute anymore. So please don't forget to delete it. So now I'm going to delete this attribute. Control save. Now I'm going to run. See, it will give the new result. See here, all the three cases have been passed. User logged in with valid username and password, user logged in with invalid username and password, and user transfer money. So all these three cases have been executed, and we can see in console the result. See, this is the reason why I wrote all the printing statement, just to understand that how it's executing. user is on login page, parameter ABCD, blah blah, true, false, user is on transfer page, user enters amount, user clicked transfer button, confirmation pop-up display. So all the three cases have been executed properly. So this is the use of dry run, which we need to use often to do the modification in our feature file and step definition file. Okay, so first next, so we learn dry run, then I'll tell you about monochrome. Monochrome is another attributes. Now I'm just writing it like this because it will be more understandable. That's why instead of writing in one line, if you want you can write it in one line continually, but just to make it more understandable writing, I'm doing like this. So another attribute is monochrome. Monochrome equals true. What it does is very easy. If you use the monochrome, it makes it little more nice. Like see here in the console, you can see this red thing, lot of at the rate, and lot of things are coming. Okay, so when you will use the monochrome, it will be nicer. So we'll just use this and see it. Control save and run as JUnit. See, it's same. It's all three cases are passed. Just see, it's now nice. Before in the console we had a lot of different types of text, but see now it's more nice and cool. Okay, so this is the use of monochrome. Another very important handy attribute is step notifications. Step notifications, this is especially supported by JUnit. In test ng it will not be supported, okay, so far. So how to write? Easy, just write step notifications equals true. Okay, what it does here, you can see when I'm not using step notifications, just here see when we ran the test cases, after that we just got like this, like 3 test cases all passed, user logged in with valid username and all, but inside that they are not showing the steps. Okay, but that means like it's just like test cases are just like that scenario, but within scenario we have mentioned the steps here. See, given, when, then, so we have mentioned these steps. So it's not showing the steps here, but when we use the step notifications attribute within Cucumber, then it's going to show all the steps also. It's showing some error here, is undefined for the annotation option. Okay. Maybe we didn't give any space here. No. Okay. Maybe I did some spelling mistake or something. I'll just check it. Yeah. So step notifications equals true. Alright. So now we are going to save it and we'll run. So run as JUnit. See, Now what we got? Now we got 12 runs 12 out of 12. It's basically showing all the steps. Okay. See here, user login. This is our feature. Then all the scenarios are here, and in each scenarios there are 4 steps, 4 steps, 4 steps. Okay, so you can see user logged in with valid username password, user is on login page. So all the 4 steps under each scenarios all are displayed. So to show all the steps like this, we have to use step notifications equals true within the Cucumber options annotation. All right, then we are going to see, we have seen dry run, we have seen monochrome and tags. We will see tags, it's also important. So another very important attribute is tags. Using this attribute, we can control which test runs will be executed and which test cases will be executed and which test cases will not be executed. How? I will say that. Now, in this feature file, so far I have only 3 test cases. But in reality, there are going to be lots of test cases, 100 test cases, more than that, 1000 test cases. Okay. So, what do we have to do? We can tag all the scenarios like I have done here. This is for smoke test. This is for regression test. This one also I will tag for something. I'll tag it for reg test. Okay. So right now we have only three, but there will be lot in reality. So that time it will in this tag attribute will be really helpful. So how to use this? Suppose I want to run only the smoke test now. Okay, not any other test. So what I will do, I will just copy smoke test, or you can write manually, it doesn't matter. So tags equals smoke test. That's all. So now if I run, it will execute only the smoke test case, not other test case. See what happens? Run as JUnit. See, 4 out of 4 steps. Which one is executed? User login. User logged in with valid username and password. So this is the first scenario which I mentioned as smoke test. Alright. Now you can use this tags attribute in different situations. Suppose here I mentioned that only smoke test will be executed. So I mentioned that. But if I want to run all other scenarios except smoke test, how it happens? Now here I have mentioned only 3 types of scenarios. Suppose this is not regression. Maybe this is web test. Like some test may be web test or web application. Some test may be mobile test. Okay. So suppose I tagged it as web test. So smoke test, regression test, web test. I want to run all the scenarios except smoke test. Alright. So how to mention that within tags attribution? We'll just mention not at smoke test. Okay. So control save and run as JUnit. See what we got. User login, user logged in with invalid username and password, and user transfers money. So it didn't execute the first scenario, user logged in with valid username and password. Why? Because it was smoke test and we told Cucumber to run all the cases except smoke test. So like this we have to use not smoke test. Again we can tell Cucumber that test either smoke test or regression test, not any other test. Okay, so what will happen? We can mention it like this: at smoke test or reg test. Sorry. Okay, so in this case what will happen? Either smoke test or reg test. So basically it's going to run both smoke test and reg test. So smoke test is this one, first one, and reg test is this one, but it will not execute this one. This is web test. Okay, so let's run and see the results. Run as JUnit. See, user logged in with valid username password. This is the first scenario. User logged in with invalid username password. This is the second scenario. So both this scenario, one was smoke and one was regression. Okay, so it didn't execute this web test. Now, so what we discussed so far, we discussed with one annotation and or, yeah, and except. Okay, so now instead of or, if we write and, what will happen? If we write smoke test and regression test, that means it will execute only those test cases which have got both annotation, smoke test and regression test. At present in our feature file we don't have any scenario like this where we got the both annotations. So that means it will not run any test cases here. We can check it. Just run and see what's going to happen. Run as JUnit. See, it didn't execute any test case. Okay, why? Because here we have mentioned at smoke test and at reg test. That means those test cases which are flagged by both this annotation, but we don't have any test case like this. Suppose I will mention the first one at smoke test, at reg test. Okay, save it. Now see what happens. Now we'll run it again. See, now it ran one scenario, the first one, user logged in with valid username and password. This one. See? Okay, so in this way, we can use two tags also in a scenario. Alright. So these can be the situation where we can use these tags differently to control which test cases will be executed and which will not be executed. Okay? Then next tag. So now we are going to see another attributes. It's very important. Plugin. We use plugin to generate different types of reports in Cucumber. After executing all the test cases and all, we need to generate the report, so that can be used for checking decisions. Okay, so there are different types of reports we can generate using Cucumber very easily. For that we will use the attribute within CucumberOptions annotation is plugin. Wait, I'll just copy paste it. So plugin, you can see here within plugin we have mentioned pretty. These attributes help us to generate a nice looking report, like if it's pass it will say green, if it's fail it will do a red color, so it makes our report nice looking. So for that pretty, if we don't use that, then also it will generate report, but to make the report good looking we'll use this attribute pretty. And then you can see this is another attribute. If we want to generate HTML reports, we'll mention HTML target / cucumber.html. Target is a folder where these reports are going to be generated. Like this cucumber.html, this is our reporting file. It's going to be generated in target folder. Now we are using Maven here. Maven already created this folder for us. We don't need to create that folder. Okay, so our report just will be generated within this folder target. Now if we want to get a JSON report, we'll just write JSON target / cucumber.json. Then if we want some JUnit test reports, then we'll write JUnit target / cooks.xml. This is going to be an XML file. So we can use all these reports later on for different purposes. Okay, so I'll show you how to do this. Now we are going to run this, save and run as JUnit. See, the test cases are executed. Okay, so they are passed. Now here there is the target folder, nothing is there now. We're just going to refresh it. Right click, refresh, or just push F5. See, all the reports are here now. Cucumber.html, that's the HTML report. Cucumber.json, that's the JSON report. Cooks.xml, that's the JUnit report. Now you can, if you want to see your HTML report, you can see, just select that cucumber.html, right click, go to properties and copy the location, not the path, the full location. Okay, C drive user, you can see you have to copy the full location, Control C, and go to your browser and just paste that location, enter. See, this is our HTML report. Okay, see, you have execution summary here, past, duration, implementation, cucumber, JVM, runtime, operating system, CPU, etc. Everything is mentioned here, and this one is the full report. Okay, so when you executed the test last time, what we used some annotation tags. Okay, see the tags not smoke test, so except smoke test all other tests were executed. Now that's why here we didn't get all the scenarios in our login feature. Okay, so only all the test cases except smoke tests have been executed. So we got that report here, and this is nice with the green color and all because of that pretty attributes. Alright, so similarly you'll get JSON report. If you want to open the JSON, just double click it. You can see here this is JSON format reporting. You can maybe sometime, most of the time you will need to get this JSON report and submit it to your manager, and they will plug in it with some other software, to get some nice reports. This is the JUnit report. Maybe later on we will use it with the Selenium. Alright, so that's how we can generate report with Cucumber very easily using the plugin attributes within CucumberOptions annotation. Okay, so yeah, these are the most important attributes available within CucumberOptions annotation, and whatever attributes we need, we can use as per our requirement. All right, thanks for watching video. In next video, I'm going to show you like how to pass data tables in Cucumber. Okay, thank you. Bye.